While nurses picket in Boston, union leaders and hospital management are at the State House, where lawmakers are trying to help the two sides find common ground. Around 4,000 Brigham and Women's nurses are off the job tonight, fighting for better pay and staffing.
Now, replacement traveling nurses are on the floors at Brigham and Women's right now. We have team coverage of the strike and its impact.
Let's begin at the State House with WBZ's Brandon Truitt. He joins us live with the very latest on the talks. Brandon?
Well, Lisa and Courtney, just in the last 10 minutes, this meeting that was happening here in the governor's office between the Nurses Association and with the Mass General Brigham ended here. And we were able to speak with the nurses just in the last few minutes, and it didn't sound promising. I was messaging with people in the room as the meeting was happening, and they were telling me that this was a meeting, not negotiations here. In fact, the nurses, when they left, couldn't even give us an update as to whether MGB was in the room. We've, of course, reached out to the hospital group and have not heard where they're standing here. The governor called this meeting really for the second time this week. She did the same thing on Monday, trying to get ahead of a potential strike here. This afternoon, Governor Healy calling them here to get around the same table to urge conversation here. We just heard from those nurses. Here's what they told us.
We met and we discussed our grave concerns about what was going on in the hospital and to our patients. And the governor heard us, and we reiterated to Mass General that we are ready, willing, and able to bargain at any point in time, and we are waiting to hear back from them.
So those nurses headed back to the picket line now, still waiting an update from Mass General Brigham on how this meeting went from their perspective, or if they were even in the room. We'll keep you posted. We're live at the State House. Brandon Truitt, WBZ News.
All right, thank you for that update, Brandon. Now, nurses are used to caring for patients, but today they made that decision to walk off the job. As WBZ's Christina Rex reports, the nurses say the decision was tough but necessary.
Emotional moments as nurses leave the overnight shift. Sharing hugs and shedding tears as they begin the largest healthcare strike in state history. 4,000 Brigham and Women's nurses from all departments and nearly 500 home healthcare workers are on strike now, leaving a hospital that serves 2.5 million people each year, staffed by 1,300 temporary nurses brought in to cover shifts.
It's a terrible feeling because we want to be able to take care of our patients and we're not being allowed to.
What she means, this is a one-day strike, but nurses will be locked out until next week because the hospital hired the temporary nurses for a 5-day contract.
We are sorry this is happening. We do not want to do this to you. This is on MGB.
Mass General Brigham, which owns Brigham and Women's Hospital, says nurses are already paid competitively and receive annual 5% raises with their seniority. But the union says the hospital offered them 0% raises to base salaries when the cost of living is at an all-time high. A number of politicians from Boston to state to national stopped by Wednesday to offer their support. While the strike goes on, critical patients still arrive at the hospital, even by medical helicopter. The hospital system says patients are being well cared for. But nurses say there are more than hospital patients at stake here, like tomorrow's final Massachusetts World Cup match, where the nurses usually work at the stadium, but say their bosses canceled their shifts.
The nurses in the ER take care of the FIFA organization, the soccer games, and we were told the other day that we are not allowed to work the games anymore as the medical.
And while these nurses are outside of the hospital, their union leadership as well as hospital leadership, they're both at the State House with the governor. The governor demanded they come to the State House in the hopes that that means negotiations can start again. In Boston, Christina Rex, WBZ News.
Christina, thank you. Hospital leaders say that care won't be disrupted with nearly 1,300 replacement nurses on the job, but that's not sitting well with patients' families, some of whom know the system very well. WBZ's Aaron Parsegian continues our team coverage tonight.
Among the thousands of Brigham and Women's nurses rallying outside for better wages is ICU nurse Jillian Burns.
We want to get our message across and we want to go back inside.
This strike comes with an emotional toll, especially for Burns, whose close family member is an ICU patient receiving critical care right now.
And he's actually on the ICU that I work on. So my very best friends have been taking care of him for 3.5 weeks now. And now we're all out here, which is very stressful, very high anxiety.
An anxiety she shares with families of patients across the state, and her family member who's expressed as much.
We're one-to-one with our patients, meaning we spend 12 hours with that one person. We get to know their family. Their families trust us. My family member, they're very upset that their nurses that they have come to love in the last 3 weeks are not up there with them.
And while in a statement, Mass General Brigham says the temporary nurses arrived without issue and are fully integrated into care teams, including the ICUs and NICU, Burns fears there's a level of care now absent.
I just feel that he's not getting quite the same level of care that he would should all his regular nurses that know him be in there and taking care of him.
But her decision to strike highlights just how important she views the cause. We're also taking moments in the day to check in on her loved one.
We want to be valued. We know how hard we work. We know how well respected this profession is, and we keep people alive. It really comes down to it, especially in the ICU. My family member would have died a couple days ago if he didn't have 3 nurses in his room taking care of him at one time. He was that sick. We work so hard, and we're not asking for a lot.
And Burns says her loved one is making slow and steady progress, and she's hoping there are no major setbacks as her and her colleagues continue to fight outside. In Boston, Aaron Parsegian, WBZ News.
Aaron, thank you. And the strike not only impacting hospital staff, Mass General Brigham home health care staff held their own strike, picketing in Braintree today. Now, these are the people who help care for patients after they leave a hospital, and these workers are spread throughout the Mass General Brigham system. The group of 450 workers include, but are not limited to, nurses, physical therapists, and occupational therapists.
We've been at the table looking for patient safety changes to our working conditions. We're looking for caseload limits. We're looking for productivity metrics so that we're not working unpaid hours at the end of every day. And we're looking for wage increases to make it more competitive so that we can retain experienced staff.
Now, the home care workers are walking the picket lines as they negotiate their first union contract.